Hello friends, today I am going to talk about a book which I read last year, a concept which I learnt about 15 years ago and a technique which followed from that concept. So, before anything else, I would like just to ask you to think about something which you have been wanting to do for a while, something which you love very much, something which is very close to your heart, and you have tried to do it for a while, somehow you could not continue and you could not just endure with that. But you always keep feeling that if I were to have this particular thing within me, life will take a complete different turn. It will be more satisfying and it will be very enjoyable. Maybe for some reason that particular thing has not happened, but all the time it keeps pricking you and says, why not I have this? For example, you may be wanting to play guitar, and whenever you see someone playing it, you feel, oh, how nice it would be if I were to be at that level. Now, you see, the thing about it is possible for us to learn anything provided we love it. The most important thing is you should be interested in it. And so, we would like to just talk about something which is very dear to you and which you would like to really learn. Now, the book which I was mentioning is a book written by Malcolm Gladwell. It's called as The Outliers, the story of success. Now, in that book, he talks about a 10,000 hour rule. And what he has said basically is that if one has to be a genius in anything, whether it is sports, whether it is music, whether it is language, whether it is singing, dancing, public speaking, whatever, if you have to reach a stage of being a genius, you need to spend at least 10,000 hours on that particular thing in a sustained manner. Now, this 10,000 hours would mean that you have to do something for almost 8 to 10 years and spend at least 3 to 4 hours a day on a day in and day out. That would give you a level of a genius. But here we are really not looking for being a genius as such. Of course, we would love to be, but we would like to learn something which we are reasonably comfortable, confident, and which will give us a lot of joy. And so, from my personal experience, what I have realized is that if you spend somewhere in the region of about 500 hours, then you will reach that level where you start feeling a lot of comfort, confidence, and creativity and innovation will follow thereafter. Now, from where do we find these 500 hours? Now, if you look at it, if you spend, let us say, 40 minutes a day, then in a year it amounts to about 247, say 250 hours. So, over a period of 2 years, you will have reached and clocked in 500 hours. Now, what happens is that if down the line, as you are doing this, if you feel that this is not for you, this is not your cup of tea, and you do not have an aptitude for it, then you do not have to really wait for those 500 hours, you will probably give it up. But that is why I said in the beginning that something which is very dear to your heart, which you have been wanting to do, but you have not been able to do. So, from where do we bring these 500 hours? So, 40 minutes a day. Now, I would like to introduce here the principle and the concept which I learned from Dr. Richard Bandler himself, another genius on this planet. So, what he says is there is something called as a present state and a desired state. So, present state is where you are at now, and the desired stage is where you would really like to be. For example, you are at the base of a foothill of a hill and you are looking at the summit at the top, and you would like to really go to the top. So, your present level is the foot level, the base of the mountain, which is let us say 0 level, and you would have to reach the top, which probably let us say it is 100. Now, to go from 0 to 100, obviously you will have to do something about it. So, how does one go from the present level or present state to a desired state? Now, in one of my videos, I have said that you cannot eat an elephant all at once, you will have to eat it bit by bit. So, let us say you would like to start today, and one other thing which you have to remember is for you to be able to go from the present state of 0 to the desired state of 100, you will need to do something. You will have to have different actions, different behavior, different skills, different resources, so that you slowly graduate from 0 level to the 100 level. Because by doing the same thing what you are doing when you are in your present state, you can really not reach anywhere near to the desired goal. For example, you are looking at the top of the hill, standing at the base, and say I would like to go there, and you do not move an inch. Even if you stand there for a million years, even if you are desperate, even if you are so keen to go there, you will not have moved and you will not have made any progress. So, to reach to a desired level, your actions and your behavior, your beliefs, they all have to be different. So, let us say we are at the present state, which is level 0. So, from where do you bring these resources, from where you motivate yourself or inspire yourself, and from where you get the time? Let us say you do not want to put 40 minutes a day, and you may not be able to start with, for example. So, here we have a concept called as scaling it up or chunking it up. So, here what we really do is we start with baby steps. So, you start with something like doing that thing for 5 minutes, let us say. So, you say to yourself, to your brain or to your subconscious or whatever you call it, can you do it for the next few days for 5 minutes? Now, there is a very interesting thing about the language which we use, whether it is with the outside world or with your own self. The moment you use the word can you, then whether it is the outside person or whether yourself, inner self, it will immediately say yes, of course I can do it. Because when you ask somebody can you do it, you are really appealing to their sense of superiority, so to say, because that person feels that his ego has been nursed, and he feels yes, this guy is asking me to do something because he thinks I am worthy of doing it, because he thinks that I have that superiority within me to, at least in this context, to do it. And so the person instantly will say yes, of course I will do it. This is different to asking a person, will you do it? The moment you ask this question, the other person will say, why should I do it? Who are you to tell me this? So, there is an inbuilt sort of aggression which is built into this language, which says, will you do it or do it? There should be no flavor of any instruction or a question or a command. As against that, use the word such as can you. So, you take your subconscious into confidence and say, can you do this for me? Just do it for 5 minutes. And he says, of course I will do it. So, that thing which you have been wanting to do, you do it for the first day for 5 minutes, and you will see that it happens without any efforts, because 5 minutes is not too big a deal. Do it for next 1 or 2 days, then you step it up, then you scale it up. Then you ask your subconscious or your brain or your mind, whatever, can you please now do it for 10 minutes? And the answer that will come, of course I can, I have been wanting to do it, but you wanted me to do only for 5 minutes, but yes, I can do it for 10 minutes. And so, for the next couple of days, you will end up in doing that thing for 10 minutes or maybe even 15 minutes. So, this way you scale it up, and in a period of 4 to 5 weeks, you reach that level of 40 minutes a day. Now, as you have been doing this, something interesting thing has happened. You have started, as it is, you loved it, you have a lot of affinity towards this thing. And when you want to learn more and you are doing it more, you will try to find out more information about it. You will go and you will Google, you will look at some of the YouTube tutorials or the videos. You will talk to the people who have been doing it. Probably you will join some classes, you will take the help of some mentors, you will observe people around who have already succeeded in that line. And so a lot of momentum has already got gathered in that process. And this will go on and on and on. And soon you will have reached a state where you feel that level of confidence and competence has really come into play, and you start feeling it from within. So, don't have to worry about 10,000 hours, just 500 hours is what we aim at. Maybe start with 5 to 10 minutes, reach it up to 40 minutes. Do it on a regular basis and do it as if it's a matter of pleasure, not as a burden. Because our brain doesn't want to be pushed into, to be feeling that it's carrying a burden. No need. If one of these days you cannot stick to your timetable, doesn't matter. There are sometimes, we want to do something, do it for 2 days, third day we cannot do it, and then we suddenly say, oh, there is a break, so we abandon it. Just remember, one bad day is not equal to one bad week. One bad week is not equal to one bad month. One bad month is not equal to one bad year. So these are all aberrations, lapses, or not being able to comply or not being able to follow through for a day or two is fine, because we are all human and it does happen. But do not take your eyes off the goal which you have. And once you have followed these very basic principles, then I am sure you will have ended up in reaching a level of comfort, confidence, competence, and almost a state of being an expert. Now, before I sign off, I would just like to say something which Dr. Chair Bandler always used to say. Try to be an expert. You may not be an expert immediately, but until you become an expert, act like one. Thanks for listening and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.